Okay, gonna power pack this one. Lots of stuff stuffed into a little bit of time. So, online casting sites equals pay to plays equals P2Ps. Just to break it down. Now, wouldn't it be nice and convenient to have one chart that compares them all so you don't have to keep surfing around? Voila. Now, first off, I want to say this is not comprehensive. There are a lot of online voiceover casting sites out there, and it can be hard to know which one to try. So, we created a side-by-side comparison of the top pay-to-plays, or online casting sites. Now, we didn't include some like Voice Bunny, Voice Realm, Fiverr, even though these are known sites. You need to do your own due diligence, but our reasoning is Voice Bunny, they have awful terms and conditions that are not in the voice actor's favor. Voice Realm has gotten some really strange reviews, and Fiverr is a place that I would say, personally, you could start out at, but don't stay there. Most Fiverr buyers are looking for a good deal. You, as a talent, build a quality voiceover business on quality voiceover clients, not just those looking for a deal. Aha! That said, there are a handful of talent out there who have built some of their business, or most of it, at decent rates on Fiverr. But for me and what I've seen, it's only been a handful and not the experience of the majority. So it's up to you. Do your due diligence, check it out for you, and see if it works. Let's start with Voice123. They're now rolling out some additional features where they have a program that'll automatically add in a digital audio watermark so that no buyers can use your auditions or bookings that are delivered through Voice123 to create synthetic voices. So that's a plus. Another highlight is that you don't have to have a fully produced demo for this site. You could just take snippets and post it. Even if you have some samples, you can join. Now, these may not compete with other talents' professional demos, but it does allow voice actors to get started somewhere as they save up for a demo. Disclaimer, we're an affiliate for Voice123 and have had the CEO on our podcast. What we know and like about Voice123 is that they prioritize protecting and providing opportunities to voice actors. However, we've also been honest with issues that we've seen. We love to offer the affiliate link, and I'll do that in the notes, because it gives you a 15% discount, helping you save money, and it allows us to cover a very small percentage of our content creation when someone signs up. That said, in no way are we saying that this is the only platform you should choose. Links below in the notes if you want it though. Again, there are plenty of sites out there. See what works for you. Next up, Voices, voices.com. There's been a lot of controversy over the years with Voices, and if you went to VO Atlanta last year, things got a little, shall we say, spicy on stage, with various voiceover talent calling out the new CEO of Voices. There was a part of me that just felt a little sorry for him because he was relatively new, but someone should have made him aware of the issues and what was going on. Voiceover talent were angry. Now, at this point in time, I still don't think any of our concerns as VO talent has been addressed. Now, Heidi utilized Voices for a while. She was on for a couple years and did fairly well. She does love the feature that they have that allows you to see if, 1, the client listened to your audition. That is pretty cool. And then 2, if it was shortlisted. That's pretty cool. That becomes some helpful data as you grow your voiceover career. So while those are two cool features, for me, I tried it out for a year because since we run a voiceover training studio, we need to stay up to date with what talent are facing, and I wanted to share that with you as well. So right before shooting this, I actually looked up my stats, and after being on voices.com for a year, I had 2 bookings, and those 2 got me over the hump to cover the yearly expense. I can't remember how many auditions I chose to do because I already deleted those, but there were a fair amount, so you can get a bunch of auditions on there. Now, the issue we've had with Voices and other talent is that not only do you have to pay a premium to get on the platform, okay, that's fine, it's their business model, it's a pay-to-play, but you also get dinged on the back end when you book something. So Voices charges you to have an account, then they charge you when you book a job, in addition to charging the client. So they're basically getting paid 3 times. And the rates are mostly not that good. Some are, but most of them, they don't even hold up to the GVAA rate guide, the standard industry rates. And then the other red flag for me, I saw about 99% of them were for in perpetuity, for usage, meaning forever usage. So when I contacted Voices support, I told them this, and they basically said, well, if you're negotiating with the client when you book, you can tell them that you don't want to have it in perpetuity. Okay, but the majority just write in perpetuity because that's what they've heard. So now that's one more conversation that I need to have to try and educate the hopeful client about what in perpetuity is and why I can't do it as a talent, which would be because it would be a conflict for me if I wanted to do something in the same category. And the second problem is that the client isn't paying me or you, the talent, to cover that. So it's a thing. Disclaimer, we have reached out to the reps at voices.com, inviting them on the podcast, but we haven't received any responses. So that's our experience thus far with voices.com. Next online casting site, VOPlanet, voplanet.com. And I would say you definitely need a professionally produced demo for this platform. What's cool is that there's a lot of pro voice talent features to this site, but the biggest downside that we've seen and heard is the lower quantity of auditions. I did it quite a few years ago, and I had a moderate amount of success. Then for some reason or another, I ended up getting off. I think I got busy with a bunch of auditions from my agent. And then after a few years, I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I'll come back and try it again. Didn't book a thing for a whole year, and that just wasn't like me. I'm typically a great booker when it comes to pay-to-plays. So between VOPlanet and then voices.com, I did not do well. Could have been the platform, could have been the clients, could have been my voiceover. That's my experience. Now, if I was just starting out, that wouldn't surprise me, but I booked well before and nothing had changed with my setup. So not sure what happened, but the amount of auditions definitely did go down. Now, before I get to the next pay-to-play, indulge me for a second and let me invite you to our monthly VO Mentorship membership. If you haven't heard of this, you could be anywhere in the world. It's where you can get info like this in real time when you ask questions in our private Discord chat. You also get a backload of Zoom sessions that we've recorded and that you can watch that'll help out different areas of your VO business and more. We've also got extra videos in there to help you in other areas. I'll put a link in the notes if you want to go check it out and see if it's right for you. It's only $25 a month, and it's like having your own coach right in your back pocket. Heidi and I would love to see you in there and in the monthly Zooms that we have. All right, next up in the pay-to-plays, online casting sites, Bodalgo. Now we put under the cons section, German company. Let me explain. I am German. I have German heritage. I love the German people. However, for voiceover, we didn't have enough space to add this to the chart, but the time zone can be tricky with clients from Bodalgo since they're mostly international clients, and you get it from Germany, Italy, Spain, Brazil. They've got clients from all over, and they do have some US clients that utilize Bodalgo, to be sure. But sometimes having a session with a client where English is the second language, that can also be challenging. That said, both Heidi and I have a client in Brazil who barely speaks any English, and she ran a whole session with Heidi using her daughter translating. It turned out to be fine, so you can work it out. But Bodalgo is a fine online casting site. This is simply something to be aware of if you use it. And Armin is a fantastic owner-operator. He's always gotten back to me if I've needed help with anything, including getting payment and communicating with the clients in German with a German company. Whew. I took German in high school and college, and I've forgotten it all since then. But when I saw his emails flying back and forth with the client, let's just say he's got the talent's best interests at heart. And boy, he is not afraid to be straightforward. Love Armin. So each year I always re-up with Bodalgo, and I've never not made at least my initial investment back. That's my experience. Next up, Backstage. That's one I recently signed up for, but again, I wanted to share my experience with you since we run a training facility. Now, overall, Backstage is a site with information and opportunities for voiceover and on-camera acting. So if you are an actor as well, this could be a good platform for you. We added it on there because many people starting out like to begin on Backstage. The low cost, low barrier to entry, and variety of projects just appeals to them. That said, don't build your voiceover career just from Backstage. There are plenty of other platforms that would be beneficial if you're just focusing on voiceover. And for me, to be honest, since I've just signed up, I've not had a lot of time to surf around and find things that might be possible jobs, so I can't speak to that just yet, but maybe I could do a video a little bit later talking about it. But you are able to search. That's key. There are some other places. Casting Call Club is another online site, and one of our VO mentorship members, Helen, said she enjoys the auditions that they offer. Gets a lot of anime, dubbing, etc., and she's booked through there, which is pretty cool. Now, we will say that most of the jobs, and she said this too, most of the jobs are very low paying or don't pay at all. So if anime, animation, or dubbing are the areas that you want to pursue, Casting Call Club could be a great way to get experience and build up your resume. Then, learn how to make that translate to other bigger and better work. Hope that helps. And once again, if Voice123 is the platform you choose, check out the V123 Pros course that I have linked in the notes as well. They have in-depth instructions on how to optimize your Voice123 profile, and they are constantly giving updates to keep you in the loop. It's a great course. Heidi's taken it, and so have I. Hope this helps make your decision a little bit easier. Next week, we're going to talk about slating. To slate or not to slate? That is the question. Well, if your agent tells you to and how, then you do it. But if you're on a pay-to-play site, do you do it? Tune in next Monday. As always, Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceOverTraining.com, our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey, giving you the resources and tools to help you create the career you want. Cheers to your voiceover journey.